News Talk Now.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate here again. Made it by the skin of her teeth outside due to the excitement taking place all around the wonderful communities we live in, which has subsequently created more vehicles on the road, which tends to leave you having to travel with more time than we used to here. Would you say that's an accurate representation of the area?
It is, and because I'm severely neurotically punctual.
You're
And for
very
me,
much a time stickler, very
I
much.
and by on time, I mean I'm always 5 minutes, 10 minutes early. So I always think about traffic, but today something was going on, and I just got here.
A reflection of, again, a community that everybody wants to be a part of and be in. Maybe it's because of 77 and 40 and this whole, more traffic on the highway, so people are taking surface streets. Maybe it's because it's a Monday after Thanksgiving. Did you have a happy Thanksgiving?
Yes, it was amazing. Very restful, very, demure.
Okay.
Yes, it was very nice. I took 92% of my day, my Thanksgiving off.
Do we think, because really this is a lead into more or less, which is going to happen at the end of the show, people come here for the holidays, they visit the family. After that, are there people wanting to move here because of how great their time was here, or are people wanting to leave here because of how not great their time went here for the holidays?
In my experience, people want to move here. I had showings in my listings of people coming to visit family and wanting to see the houses, look at the area. I had plenty of showings
Okay,
in my
so
listings.
they're continuing on still here at the
Mhm.
local marketplace. Okay. And then for the buyers coming here, did any buyers reach out and say, hey, it's time, we're ready to, are you seeing any of that effect even this quickly after Thanksgiving?
Not because of Thanksgiving, but yes, I have people texting me right now, actually. I
They're
said
still-
I have to stop talking to you right now. Like literally right now. I said I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so does that translate to more or less? Are there more or less units on market active coming soon this week
See, I
compared
have
to
to turn the phone because I see it like boom.
And
Oops.
that's okay. That's a
See,
good
I'm
thing.
nervous because I was not early today, so I don't like it. I'm gonna say less.
You're gonna go for less this week.
I think from now on, it will probably drop a little because now it's holidays, winter break, Christmas break. So I really don't think many people will list the house.
It is Christmas break, and I wanted to ask you because you're also as much as a punctual person as you are.
Yes.
You also want to make sure your sellers are positioned perfectly for the market. And so this time of year, you got a lot of holiday stuff out in these houses.
Mhm.
Is that okay to have a listing that has Christmas tree, personalized decorations, a lot of personal family photos and antiques? Because that's a big thing, right? If you're really selling your house, it's kind of the inverse of what you should do.
I actually just put a house not on the market as a private exclusive. Just before Thanksgiving, we had a showing already, and it looks amazing, by the way. They have 3 or 4 Christmas trees, more.
3 or
If you
4?
go upstairs, they even have it upstairs, and people love it. As long as, and this is a main thing that I see sometimes, let's say, of course, my plan is to have this house under contract before Christmas, right? So right now it's private exclusive, and we are coming soon, December 9th or 10th, and then open houses 10 days before Christmas.
Mhm.
So hopefully I will have it under contract even before we hit the market. I want to have it under contract as a private exclusive. And I told my clients, look, because we are going to take pictures with the Christmas decor. The house looks amazing. I don't think people have a problem with it. The problem is if we don't sell by the end of the year. I told them as soon as you get the Christmas decoration out, I'm going to send my photographers again and retake the pictures
Okay.
because you don't want to have a house. And I've seen it like in March, houses still with Christmas. Like, no,
Leaves off the whole night.
it's your agent's job. It's part of the job. House didn't sell. Update the pictures. I've seen especially Charlotte, which is crazy because we never get snow. I've seen pictures of houses like in May that have snow. And not one picture with snow just to show how pretty it looks. No, like it was the whole thing of the house in the winter on a snowy day. You didn't sell in the winter. It's time to spend some extra money. Again, part of the job. I think it's part of our job. It's the risk. Sometimes you sell a house in a few hours, and sometimes it takes a while, and sometimes you have to retake pictures, change strategy, do something. It's part of being an agent. If you don't want to do it, go do something else.
How often are you coming across a listing that's been on the market more than 60 days?
It's common. I see it a lot. And I have a little notebook that I put post-its of houses, let's say, that sometimes I thought were either awesome or weird or like something, or that my clients looked at and thought maybe it wasn't a good idea, but I'm interested in knowing what's going to happen. So I have post-its of many different houses and I go back and forth. And now there are probably, and this is only houses I show to my clients and they didn't want it, whatever. But I have about 25 houses that I show to my clients that are still on the market. And every week I go, I check when I have some extra time. And some have been on the market since, for many months.
Are you
So
waiting
it's
on
more
them to
common.
expire? Or are you waiting on the price adjustment for a buyer?
I'm just curious to see what
Just to
happens.
see what
Price
happens with them.
adjustment. Yeah. I don't, if you think I call expired listings, I don't.
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
You don't like to harass people
I
who
don't
were
like to.
not able to
Not at
successfully
all.
sell their house with a different broker?
No,
Oh,
it's not. I always say to my realtor friends, because sometimes they come and they ask like what my secret is. And I always say, I do what I know I can do well.
mm-hmm.
And I gave up on the things that I don't do, like cold calling. I do not do calling expires listing, which is a kind of cold calling. I don't do it. I don't do it because I know I'm not good at it. So I instead of wasting my energy doing something I'm not good at, I focus on what I'm good at.
Okay, so did you focus on any open houses over the holidays? Were there any open houses that caught your eye over the holidays?
No, I did not because I'm committing to my family to stay home a little more than usual. So no, I did show houses to clients of mine that wanted to see houses, but nothing beyond the basics. It's not forever, but in the holiday with everyone home, I said I'm gonna stay home
Okay.
almost the whole time.
And you successfully survived a holiday week with the fam in the house.
But I did. But Kevin knows I start getting agitated because he knows I need to produce something. I feel like I'm like getting closer to the end without doing anything.
See, now the thought of downsizing is just scary, right? Because you wouldn't have had all those rooms just to run around in and figure out something to do with. More of today's Real Talk coming up next. More or less, that's going to happen by the end of the show. Also, Maintenance Monday. Got to take care of the assets, so hopefully we have something there for you, too.
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis, in just a moment on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the month of December starting off actually feeling like the holidays, just downright cold as we start a new work week. Plenty of sunshine in mid-40s for this afternoon. Tonight dropping into the low and mid-20s, and could even see a snowflake or a couple of flurries. Wouldn't cause any issues, though, just something a little fun to see. Low 40s, plenty of sunshine on the way for our Tuesday, just cold and dry all week long. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Greystone Lodge in Boone.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Christmas in Davidson returns on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Santa's arrival and the tree lighting ceremony will be Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m. on the town green. Christmas in Davidson runs nightly from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thursday through Saturday. The lighting of the downtown Statesville Christmas tree is set for Thursday, December 5th. Enjoy classic holiday songs at 6 p.m., watch Santa arrive in style, and see the tree lit at 6:45. Train rides will be available to kids of all ages, while horse-drawn carriage rides will surround you with sights and sounds of the holidays. Then on Friday, make plans to stop by Statesville City Hall for the Shop and Stroll and Santa Central. See you Thursday and Friday in downtown Statesville for Christmas and holiday fun. This Friday, downtown Mooresville presents the first of 2 Mistletoe Sippin' Shops. Downtown's unique shops and businesses will offer open houses, store specials, treats, and more. Bring your favorite people and enjoy shopping small this holiday season. Downtown Mooresville hosts the Mistletoe Sippin' Shop Friday from 6 p.m. until 8 along Main and Broad Streets. The North Mecklenburg Holiday Parade will take place Saturday at 1 p.m. The parade begins in Davidson and follows Highway 115 to the conclusion on Catawba Avenue in Cornelius. Visit townofdavidson.org for information. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through Sunday, January 5th. The Holiday Light Show features more than 5 million lights on a 4-mile course through the oval, pit road, and infield. Speedway Christmas tickets and information are available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Each week we have a Maintenance Monday tip for you that Claudia puts together. Because, look, it's not just about being able to buy the asset when you can and moving into a house and living all the hopes and dreams that you've got, but you got to take care of it. And that comes with something that we think is there, and that's not magic. We think magic just happens, but you got to take care of the house. You got to take care of the asset. So this week, what do you want people to focus on? What do you want people to think about, especially in the holiday times?
Yeah, so this week I want to do something different. We've been talking about Maintenance Monday, 1 tip a week.
Mm-hmm.
But today, is there a word that is the opposite of celebrate? What is the uncelebrate?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so to uncelebrate the beginning of winter, the meteorological winter, which was December 1st. Yes, and I'm upset about it already.
Fall's gone.
Hate winter. I hate cold weather. So to uncelebrate the arrival of winter, I want to talk about 3 things. So let's talk about one Maintenance Monday, reviewing things we talked about, 1 per segment.
Okay.
Very important that are related to winter.
Okay.
And actually, they happened kind of in my own house this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I would like to talk about 3 different things. Let's begin with the smoke and carbon monoxide detector.
Ooh.
Why? Because now if the heat in your house is gas, you might have problems with that. And many people have gas fireplaces, and you might have a problem with that. So in our case, it was not gas. It was the smoke detector. I was trying to do something. I'm not a chef. I already told you that. And I think fat fell on around the oven, smoke all over. My smoke detector did work.
Oh, good.
So it went crazy. But then as soon as that was done, the battery died. So it was good because it was 8 p.m. So we were still awake and replaced the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
But it is important for people to remember this is a perfect time for the smoke detector and carbon monoxide. And one thing that I tell my clients usually, because this is something that makes no sense to me. So many of the gadget thing is for both, but they go on the ceiling. Gas is heavier than air. So if you have a gas leak in the fireplace, in your oven, it will be at the bottom of the floor, and it will only make the alarm go off once it reaches the ceiling. And by then,
Could be too late.
it could be too late. So I always tell people to get the one that you could put in an outlet.
Yeah.
And I recommend putting it near the fireplace and near the stove. So this is number one. And then I'll
Sound
talk about
advice.
the other two, segment 3 and 4.
So are you telling people to get on a ladder while their family is in town and create the new tradition of changing batteries throughout?
Yes.
That's what. Okay.
You start, and by the way, because we talked about it, I think last week, I finally authorized Claudia the Grinch, finally authorized Christmas decor so we did it Friday. Oh, talk about Friday, Black Friday. Did you buy anything?
No.
I didn't either. I had to buy on Thursday, actually, I think, or Wednesday. I had to buy a washer and dryer because my washer crossed
Kaputs, huh?
crossed the rainbow bridge.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you go with one of those fancy Wi-Fi connected to your phone so you can manage it on the road?
No,
type
I
thing?
don't. No. I got beautiful. It's being oh my God! I remember I had to call them. I have to call them to schedule. But I got a beautiful set from Electrolux.
Okay.
So it's going to be delivered, I think, on Thursday.
Well, the tradition of changing the batteries, we'll start with that, and then we'll come
Yes.
back to the washer machine. But the tradition of changing batteries, it is important, and it is that lower carbon monoxide detector lower to the ground. That is unique of a scenario that most people aren't thinking about. You think about the convenience of it being the 2-in-1 smoke and carbon monoxide built in, but at the same time, if it's not effective and it's not saving your life,
Yeah.
not
It
as
is-
cool.
It is very important. So I always say, and I actually have one. So fireplace, stove, main floor, I have them. And I also have one in the beginning of the second floor. Because in case the ones downstairs fail, I still have one close to the first bedroom. So as soon as the carbon monoxide reaches, if it reaches the second floor, it's still, I have a second one for safety issues on the second floor, right, let's say, right by the stairs. So
Ready
it
to go.
doesn't reach the bedrooms.
Well, again, you look at your house, and every floor plan's unique. Everything's unique. Do
Mm-hmm.
you go through stuff like that with people when you walk through like a seller preparing for the listing? Like, how intimate do you get with them on those types of things, or in general, right? Because you know that that's going to come up on an inspection report,
Oh.
right? Any halfway decent inspector in the community is going to find that and notate that.
So I have a homework list, and it does talk about the carbon monoxide and the smoke detector. So I do tell my clients, please take a moment to read. Please take a moment, like on the weekend, to take a look at the list. It doesn't mean necessarily that you have these things happening in your house, but take a few hours, go through them, because it will come in the inspection report. And because I can't force people to do it. And it's so interesting to see how clear it is because some people don't take it seriously and they forget about it. And sometimes, honestly, they lie to me because they say they did. And then when I go back to the house, I'm like, no, you didn't. So people that don't, and of course, when the inspection comes, I have like 15 easy items. I don't make people do anything crazy, just easy, basic stuff. And I can clearly see, because the inspection report, when people don't take me seriously or they tell me they did and I know they didn't, it's a long, ugly inspection report, even though I know many of the items are easily, and the people that do that have a much better, lighter, because then if there are problems, it's nothing like silly, like smoke detectors, light bulbs, gutter extensions, and things like that. That I always say, with $100 at Lowe's, you can take care of everything.
And do you have conversations then putting the flip side to the buyers, right? Because, okay, you're prepping your sellers, but then also your buyers, hey, let's talk about what this is probably going to look like just generally walking through this house.
Yes, I always talk about how ugly an inspection report might look at first, because I said any little issue, if an outlet is loose, it's going to be half of a page saying hire a GC to have it further evaluated. So I do talk to my buyers and say, hey, there will be problems that are not really problems. Let's focus on what matters. And I always tell them, like, don't go crazy asking for everything, because if you don't want to do it, a handyman in like 2 hours can take care of half of the inspection.
Well, the market,
most of the time.
The market did exist pre-COVID, we'll say, of buyers being able to tic-tac through every little thing on an inspection report in some instances if they wanted to. It just seems like the market is not like that anymore in most cases. Now, every deal, everything is negotiated. And this is also the truth that I think a lot of buyers forget in the beginning. The contract is an as-is contract. And so if you're basing the price on what you think you'll be able to do after inspections, I mean, that's already starting off on the wrong foot as a buyer.
Yes. And this is also a conversation I have on both sides. So when I have the sellers, I do explain as is, but I also talk about common sense and being fair. And I always tell every time I tell my buyers, we have to strategize the offer based on the fact that houses are sold as is. So what we see now is what you get. Yes, we can ask for repairs. Yes, we can ask for some credit back. The sellers never have to agree unless, of course, we can tell that they were hiding and lying. Then it's a different story.
Well, and a lot of it has to do, too, with the mechanical side of things. You think about HVAC, plumbing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, appliances are a big factor. So let's talk about this washing machine you got here. Yes. Is it efficient, green, efficiency, all that kind of stuff, too? And is that what drew you into the brand that you wanted to?
I mean, it's a brand that I trust. It's a higher end, but not crazy. It has a bunch of the green things that I love, and it looks good. So I got, check.
You got everything you wanted there in the package, and then it's going to be delivered to you.
It will. They'll take the old ones. I have my appliance guy. He's super honest, and he said, "Look, it's silly. It's going to cost you $600 just to replace what I need to replace in your washing machine. It's Black Friday. Why not get a brand new set?" Because he's like, it's going to happen again, and then your dryer is going to die who knows when. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So.
And that has probably happened to a buyer, we'll say, or even a seller in a transaction. Appliance dies right before closing. All of a sudden, everybody's upset at final walkthrough. For a buyer, they close. Appliance dies. Now they got to fork up the cash and go get a new one because it's as is and they own it now.
Yes.
So when those situations happen, what's it like walking through that with the client?
You have to pray that everybody will be fair, nice, and understand. Again, always reminding them of the risks of as is and after closing, but at the same time expecting, this is how I see it, expecting the seller to be fair. I have one actually right here in Westmoreland. My client, my buyer, got the house. Everything was fine. We stopped at the walkthrough, went to the attorney, which I think was you actually.
Oh,
but
wow.
anyway, yeah, I'll check. And when my client went back to the house, the HVAC had completely died.
Oof.
Like right after we left the attorney's office. And I can tell you what happened when we come back.
Oh, wow. There we go. More talk of today's Real Talk, what's going on with real estate in North Carolina. What's going on in Claudia's buyers and sellers life? What's going on to help you maintain your house? That was 1 out of 3. We got a couple more to walk through, some almost best ofs of things to maintain. More or less, Claudia can't avoid it as well. More or less, are there more or less active and coming soon units on the market? Got to put some criteria on it. We'll tell you about that too, just on the other side.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the month of December starting off actually feeling like the holidays, just downright cold as we start a new work week. Plenty of sunshine in mid-40s for this afternoon. Tonight dropping into the low and mid-20s, and could even see a snowflake or a couple of flurries. Wouldn't cause any issues though, just something a little fun to see. Low 40s, plenty of sunshine on the way for our Tuesday, just cold and dry all week long. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Hey, it's Kevin Harrison with Harrison's. Now's the time to load up on layers. From lightweight long-sleeve t-shirts to heavy-duty Sherpa-lined coats and everything in between, Harrison's has what you need to work safe and work warm all winter long. Come see us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
Family, quality, value. With a legacy of excellence for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning will make your house feel like a home. Welcome home to the feeling of HornHVAC.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. We did plenty of holiday shopping over the weekend, and it's not over yet. Adobe Analytics predicts U.S. shoppers could easily spend as much as $13 billion today, Cyber Monday. As for Black Friday shopping, Adobe estimates around $10.8 billion was spent online. That's up 10% from last year. Markets, though, are mixed today. The Dow is slumping 0.2%, but the S&P is up 0.1%. The Nasdaq up 0.75%. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger has been forced out, with sources saying it happened because the board lost confidence in his plans to turn around the iconic chip maker. They also say the clash came to a head last week when Gelsinger met with the board about the company's progress on winning back market share and narrowing the gap with its rival NVIDIA. Supermicro says an independent review has been completed on the company's financials and it found no evidence of misconduct. But the review did recommend the appointment of new top financial and legal leadership. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. You know, you keep talking about this firm exclusive thing going on at Compass. What is that all about? Because I would imagine for the everyday person who has no idea that the National Association of Realtors just went through a massive, multi-billion-dollar lawsuit, and basically everything has shifted in the marketplace in dramatic fashion in a short amount of time. Not that commissions weren't always negotiable, but just the process now, which has to be done, and including also having to have signed buyer agency prior to showing buyers properties. Everything seems to have shifted quickly. So this concept of firm exclusives, Compass Real Estate, why to you is that unique right now?
I think more and more firms or strong firms will focus on having private exclusive because then it gives the sellers and the buyers an upfront, how do you say that, like an advantage in the market, because within the same firm, we used to have pocket listings, which is like people that would sell the house. They didn't want to be on the market. They didn't want their house on MLS, on Zillow, blah, blah, blah. So we would talk to each other, agents, either by phone, email, Facebook, and we would say, hey, I have a pocket listing in this neighborhood if you're interested. And nobody knew about it other than agents, but with every firm. They changed that, so pocket listings are not allowed anymore. But then they came with the rule that within a firm, you can have pocket listings, which we call now private exclusive. So only clients, only agents from that firm can see that listing before it eventually hits the market if needed. And only buyers from that firm can see them. And again, when I changed firms, one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Compass is that we have many very strong, high producing agents, and Compass is not a franchise. So I can see private exclusives anywhere in the country. So I can see houses in California, in Texas, in wherever that nobody else can besides Compass agents. So this is a great strategy for a firm to have and to increase the, let's say, the focus on private exclusives, because then if I'm a person thinking about buying a house, I don't have an agent, so I have to decide what agent to hire. Knowing that a firm as strong as Compass can give me the advantage of seeing plenty of houses that nobody else can see, but Compass buyers, why would I choose a small firm that might not have any listings at all, any private exclusives at all, or a franchise that is very limited to the area? So a franchise here in Lake Norman, they might have a few Lake Norman private exclusives, but because it's by firm and a franchise is a different firm than the main name, they can have a name that everybody knows, but it's just a franchise. Like, think about it. Who would you choose?
There's limitations in the model now in the way that it exists. So from a seller's perspective too, because we've talked about this, it's not just buyers having access to a nice pool of private exclusive listings that exist, but also there's sellers out there that really don't want to go through an MLS process, that want to deal more with a broker directly, that has a relationship, that wants to find the broker that will work with them the way they want.
Yes, and it's more because I think many people think, oh, celebrity, like we have NASCAR drivers, we have NFL, we have NBA, we have, the famous people that live in the area, and many people tend to think that these are the people that don't want to be on the market. And many times you have regular folks, sometimes like an aging seller that hasn't been able to keep up with the house, and they don't want to get the house ready for the market, or they don't want to expose what happened to the house. So they prefer to be off market. So there are many different situations in which people would like not to have to list on MLS.
And part of that is because there's enough demand, there's enough insight with other buyers, other potential people in the network, basically, that can help get the home sold. And that's what people care about, getting top dollar. But to get top dollar, is condition a factor these days, Claudia?
I believe so, always.
Okay, so we're going through 3 of the past Maintenance Monday tips. Last one was
the smoke
detectors and carbon monoxide.
Yes.
Making sure that the carbon monoxide, you actually have one of the lower plugged in ones on the wall, because it does what heat rises, but CO2 sits on the floor, I guess.
Yes.
Something like that. We'll come up with some kind of jingle later. Number 2, what do you recommend?
And again, all of them to uncelebrate the beginning of winter. So gas, fireplaces, etc. The second one that I'm going to talk about, and we've talked about it earlier, but I'll talk about it again, winterize the exterior faucets of your house. So and we had a cold night, and we're going to have a few other cold nights. Let's say that newer construction has insulation around the faucets outside, so they should be safe, but you don't know, and you don't know how well insulated they are. So either you put those covers that you can buy in any store, Home Depot, Lowe's, right? It covers like a foam thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe ideally you shut off the exterior water, shut off, empty the faucets, make sure you unplug any hoses, because if you get a freeze and the water inside the hose connects to the faucet freezes, it might make the whole thing kind of break, pipes breaking. And other than fire, water is a house's worst enemy. So you only know how bad water can be once you have a leak. And in the winter, pipes, especially in the exterior walls, if we have a severe cold, and you never know how the condition of the pipes inside the walls. We don't see it. So to be on the safe side, winterize it. Shut off the exterior faucets, empty the faucets, and for sure unplug any hoses. That's it. This is number 2.
Okay, number 2 is take care of. This is supporting kind of your inside and your outside, because if it busts on the outside, you can't use it. If it busts on the inside, that's real bad for the inside of the house.
Yeah. And one thing that I'm talking about the exterior ones right now, but one thing that also helps on the super cold days, not now, but remember, I think 2 years ago we had crazy. I'm not going to say because I do Celsius, so I'm going to say Celsius, and nobody will understand.
It was negative. It was negative if you were
something.
Celsius. Yeah.
Yes. They say keep faucets dripping, but also if you open the cabinets, let's say for the kitchen, for the bathrooms, open the cabinets so the hot air that is in the kitchen or can help bring heat to the pipes.
I remember that was 2 years ago, like this week.
It was.
It was cold.
Insanely cold. Yes.
Freezing.
Yes.
Negative
Super
on
freezing.
Celsius.
Yes.
Negative on Celsius.
For Celsius, it was like minus 15, which is insane. It's like super cold.
Do you when you, because I'm sure you get your clients a gift, so this is me just assuming, do you get them like a thermostat in Celsius, or no, do you use regular Fahrenheit like it's America?
I go back and forth when I'm talking to people. I do translate to Fahrenheit. But I'm here, I'm like trying to make people use the metric system. I guarantee it's much easier.
All right, so it was negative 2 years ago in the temperature. Will this week be negative on more or less? Do you want to lock in your thought
Negative,
process?
yes. Now? It has to be less.
Down this week. Does it feel that way because of buyers? Because you called it a buyer's market for the past few weeks. Is that because listings are getting less?
Yes, I'm going to say, which again makes no sense because we don't have enough inventory. So I have trouble saying it's a buyer's market because we don't have enough houses for sale, which kind of makes it a seller's market, but it is a buyer's market.
Is it because we've gone so far past? It's not even about number. It's like there's nothing left.
I'm going to call it, it's not a buyer's, it's just a crazy market. Some houses going under contract with multiple offers in 2 days, and many, we call sitting because we have been spoiled by how quickly houses sold in the past few years, but sitting on the market for like 2 months.
Part of it is the rates going on.
Yes.
Has there been any shift in rates during this, or is everything just kind of, we'll see you next year?
No, and I think there was some kind of hope that they would come down earlier next year. But with the whole tariff thing and the potential of inflation getting worse again, nothing is going to change until we figure out what's going to happen. So it's going to keep being in the 7s. But again, it doesn't mean it's not a good time to buy, because especially if you're renting, you are throwing money in the garbage. So even if you pay $200 extra because of the interest rates, it's like the $2,000 a month rent going to the garbage, or the $200 extra for it. Like, it makes no sense. So don't wait to buy.
It's a buyer's market. Rates are staying up. You've got maintenance to do on your house. There's a lot to process when you're going through real estate in this marketplace. Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis. When we come back, we're going to have another maintenance tip for you here, because you're going to get 3. This is just like a holiday bonus season, like it's Cyber Monday or something like that. That's what
it
this
is Cyber Monday, actually.
Oh, it is actually Cyber Monday. That's right. If you got to get gifts for the holiday season, I don't know, gift the realtor that keeps on giving. There you go. It's Claudia Ogrizek. We're going to hang out and talk about more or less as well, because we've got to really actually see. Claudia says less. She says less people are listing this week than last week. We'll find out. Going to put some criteria on it. 500,000 or less by county. We're going to look at Mecklenburg. We're going to see what's going on. Remember, Mecklenburg is a county with 1.2 million in population. So how many 500,000 or less units are active and coming soon?
More of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the month of December starting off actually feeling like the holidays, just downright cold as we start a new work week. Plenty of sunshine in mid-40s for this afternoon. Tonight dropping into the low and mid-20s, and could even see a snowflake or a couple of flurries. Wouldn't cause any issues though, just something a little fun to see. Low 40s, plenty of sunshine on the way for our Tuesday, just cold and dry all week long. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here Here's your WSIC community calendar. Christmas in Davidson returns on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Santa's arrival and the tree lighting ceremony will be Thursday, December 5th at 6 p.m. on the town green. Christmas in Davidson runs nightly from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thursday through Saturday. The lighting of the downtown Statesville Christmas tree is set for Thursday, December 5th. Enjoy classic holiday songs at 6 p.m., watch Santa arrive in style, and see the tree lit at 6:45. Train rides will be available to kids of all ages, while horse-drawn carriage rides will surround you with sights and sounds of the holidays. Then on Friday, make plans to stop by Statesville City Hall for the Shop and Stroll and Santa Central. See you Thursday and Friday in downtown Statesville for Christmas and holiday fun. This Friday, downtown Mooresville presents the first of 2 Mistletoe Sippin' Shops. Downtown's unique shops and businesses will offer open houses, store specials, treats, and more. Bring your favorite people and enjoy shopping small this holiday season. Downtown Mooresville hosts the Mistletoe Sippin' Shop Friday from 6 p.m. until 8 along Main and Broad Streets. The North Mecklenburg Holiday Parade will take place Saturday at 1 p.m. The parade begins in Davidson and follows Highway 115 to the conclusion on Catawba Avenue in Cornelius. Visit townofdavidson.org for information. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through Sunday, January 5th. The Holiday Light Show features more than 5 million lights on a 4-mile course through the oval, pit road, and infield. Speedway Christmas tickets and information are available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Coming up on it, more or less, we're going to talk about it. Or do you want to do Maintenance Monday first? You're giving them 3 Maintenance Mondays in one single day. That's a lot to have to deal with and take care of a house. My goodness. Can't you just come in as the realtor and take care of this for us?
Sure. Pay me and I'll do it. I would love, I told you I would like to be a GC, right?
Yes.
I would love to have, a service that I could, let's say, have people on a payroll. So I would have to make enough to have them on payroll, but I would have someone, I know I'm not normal, but have someone for every single listing that I have, especially, I would send my guy, go through the whole
Take
list,
care of it.
get ready. So the house is as close to perfect as possible. I would love to offer, because I do offer cleaning crew to come before the photographers. I do include light staging and, of course, photography and videography, like high quality. And actually, they're coming later this month. One of the guys is 17 years old, which is insane. Yeah, so they're coming here. So, again, cleaning crew, so my sellers don't go crazy getting the house ready before pictures. Light staging, meaning if needed, I'll bring whatever. Bedspreads, pillows, plates, paintings, and everything that's needed to make it better for photography. Because many times it's not that you have an ugly bedspread, but I know it doesn't look as good for pictures. And we need to seduce people with the pictures and the video. I want people to see my listing and think, I need to see this house. We have to find a way to attract people to come and see the house.
But Claudia, that's great Aunt Gigi's blanket that she handmade for me on that
Put
bed.
it in the closet. I'll bring a neutral, nice, that will help with pictures. So I always say it's nothing personal. It's just I know it works better. So I do that, photography, and I would love, and one day maybe I'll do that. I'll have like the handyman come and go through Claudia's list.
Offered as do you find that, because some people like care about the pictures a lot, some people care about the what are you helping us with the strategy of cleaning up and picking up and designing and all that kind of stuff. Is there any way that buyers or sellers, I guess really in this instance, are leaning when you have these conversations at listing appointments? Like, is there anything or is it really some people care about one thing more than another, and it's literally across the board?
It really varies depending on each person, the same way you have the kind of the engineer mind, kind of like they only care about numbers and not how to get there. There are people that are more artistic, so they want to think about how look it good. So it's a case by case. I feel the seller, like what, and the same thing with the buyers, and see what how they respond or what they expect from me, and I adapt. I think it's important for an agent to adapt to whatever their clients need. Some people, same thing, some, and both sides. Some people pretty much say, hey, you have it. Like, just tell me where to sign, and they trust me and they don't care. Some people need to know every single thing that's happening, and it's okay. Again, I feel the clients, I understand how their minds work, and I adapt to them. I can't be whatever I think. Like, I have to see what they need to feel. Tell people all the time, you have to feel good and trust me when you hire me. If you don't have that feeling, look for someone else, because I'm not the right person for you.
It's about you having the right tools in your tool belt that will help maximize and provide the best experience, best outcome possible for your client in that instance. And part of that involves, how do you do that when you have a county of 1.2 million in population, and you don't even know how many 500,000 or less units are on the market active and coming soon? So more or less, Claudia agrees it. Less. She says less.
Let me open the
so
page.
So last week.
Let's check the number last week.
And we went down last week, too,
yes,
I
and
think.
I was wrong, right? Because I was...
You were excited about it. You thought, like, the market was roaring back. It was preparing to make its comeback finally.
Do you have the number there? I'm looking for my
I think
page.
it was about 1,600, somewhere in that range.
It was 1,600 something for sure.
It was somewhere in that range.
Did I lose? Okay, 1,655.
1,655 active and coming soon units in Mecklenburg County, 500,000 or less, as shown on market in Canopy MLS. So Claudia Ogrizek, this week, more or less. You say less from 1,655, and you are correct. 1,592.
Ooh.
So we dropped below 1,600.
Oh my gosh. Last time we were below 1,600 was at the end of August. End of, like, school, whatever. Oh, that's not a good sign.
Does it make it more of a buyer's market or a seller's market, knowing that the units are going down? I think
now, I believe that from now on until, let's say, mid-January, I would say we're going down, because now holiday season is official. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everybody now is kind of focused on
their own agenda,
getting ready for the holidays, and not many. So again, it could be perfect for buyers to grab a house right now, but I think it will only pick up again in like mid-January probably.
So, okay, then I got to turn to the new construction queen now. How do we solve this? Do we ever get the number of units up, or no? Is it this market is just going to continue to trend into, you've got to be in a higher price point as far as Mecklenburg County goes? You need to start looking to the exterior counties, because it's not going to change overnight. It's just not. So how do you have the realistic conversation?
I do think, yes, new construction, they are, unless it's a very higher end, beautiful and very expensive neighborhood, and we do have those here, for you to kind of talk about affordable, and by affordable I don't mean 200, I mean 300, 400, 500. You have to go outside Mecklenburg probably, and especially I would say Lancaster County in South Carolina. It's really growing, and you can still buy affordable in that market, and also Iredell, Cabarrus, but further away. Don't think Cabarrus close to Huntersville or Cornelius. No, a little further away. And I still think it's a good thing if you. I'll keep saying, if you can see yourself in a house for 2 years, you will very likely at least break even, meaning you kind of live for free. And with the appreciation and the money you walk away with, you put down on a larger home or same size but closer to Charlotte if you want to do it, with the equity you created in those 2 years.
It's not guaranteed, but it's always helps to have the right person walking alongside with you. Do you help people analyze numbers? Like, let's say someone says, "I'm investing. I want to look at numbers on this." Do you do that with them?
Yes, all the time. All the time. Yeah. I enjoy, I am the Excel spreadsheet queen. I love, so when my clients ask me questions, I always, even for people that are thinking about their first home or even the second home, what to do with the first. Do we keep it? Do we sell it? Or people that have the house and start investing, we talk about what kind of investor do you want to be? I believe that you should start slowly, steadily, safely, and not take chances. I hate the YouTube people that promise the method of buy.
The Burr method.
Yeah. It's like easy piece of cake because it's not. It it requires not only knowledge but cash, safety net, and a high risk. So you could make money, you could lose money. So I always talk about beginning on a safe because I do believe that everyone can be an investor, but not everyone should be a high risk investor. So why not do it in a safe and correct way to do it and think about long-term money? This is how I see it. So do you want to take a risk and go crazy? Sure, but why not start and build your portfolio slowly without taking chances of your hard-earned money?
It's amazing because during COVID, right, the wholesaler became more prominent than ever, it feels like, in our local area. And that enticed people to want to, quote unquote, I'm in real estate now. And that involved them buying, renovating, rehabbing, flipping. It is ultimately what the goal was for a lot of folks. When people come to you and they say, hey, I think I want to go get into flipping and all that, does any of that even exist anymore? Is flipping still even a thing?
It is, but it's much harder than people think, regular people, because there are so many full-time, full of money, crazy cash investors that have people providing the money that if you are like a regular person trying to flip, your chances of success are very tiny. So that's why I say instead of like looking at the YouTube channels and think that an easy thing, because you're competing with so many big fish, why not do something a little easier and lighter, but that you know over time will bring you money for your retirement, for your kids? It doesn't matter. Like, why try to get rich in a few months if you can get rich in a few years, for sure, without taking a major chance on whatever you're investing on?
Over time, it still isn't even magic. You got to take care of the property. You got to maintain it. We've gone through 2 out of 3 maintenance Mondays: smoke alarms and carbon monoxide. And then we also talked about winterizing your outside faucets, which really affects your inside too. What's the third one on tap?
Okay. Mice, critters.
Oh my
In the
goodness.
garage.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
going to say, I saw one in my garage.
Oh.
A tiny little thing. Why? Because now that it's getting cold, they're going to look for shelter in a warm place. So they will try to get into the garage, which is not that bad because keep in mind that from the garage, they can go inside your house. So make sure you block any holes. And I talked to a pest exterminator a few months ago. They can go through, like if you have a hole the size of a dime, a baby mouse can, yes. So go through your garage, take any food source, kind of clean it, cover any holes.
Sounds like the list has gotten longer. If you're home for the holidays, you got plenty to work on in the house. Join us next week. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville.